question. Is anybody right now, and probably nobody is, but is anybody right now in the process of deciding personally for yourself or for another group or organization, trying to decide should you do a Facebook page or a Facebook group? So nobody's at that point. So maybe this is not relevant today.
No,
Um,
it is good.
Yeah,
Okay, the
I
other
have a,
thing it might be good for is sometimes people have created something for a Girl Scout group or a computer club or something, and they're saying, well, I created a Facebook page, but maybe I should have created a group. So that's the other thing is, and you can have both for different reasons. So that's what we're going to look at today.
good.
So we're going to kind of look at it and balance. And this is my recommendation. If you hear a feature that you really like, make a note of it. Because at the very end, I'm going to ask, in terms of the balance, which of the features seem to mean the most to you? Features for a page or a group for maybe an intended purpose or a future purpose. So my agenda is I'm going to look at some of the features and I'm going to look at the difference between pages and groups in terms of action buttons, an event tab, file tab, creating polls, scheduling future posts. I don't know if you've ever done that in email. I know I do it in Outlook all the time. I'll create an email that's going to go out a week from now. You can do the same thing in Facebook. You can create a post for the first of every month or the third of every month. And then you can also look at your top contributors and how it's different in pages and groups. And in terms of member-to-member communication, how do they differ? And in terms of the ability to set up moderators, administrators for the site, how are they different? And then briefly, we'll look at the analysis of your audience, the difference between pages and groups. I'm an admin, I know you're going to get, for all of these Facebook groups. I'm not the only admin, I'm one of many admins. One of them is a private group, District 9, Florida Federation of Garden Clubs. You have to click a join button to get in, and we approve everybody so we don't screen. So I'm not the person who set it up, created it as a private group, and it's driving me crazy because a lot of people don't want to click a join button. They don't know if they're going to be joining for life or what. They don't know enough about Facebook, but I am an admin for all of these creatures. Okay, we're going to take a look at some of the features between a page and a group. The items that are red, I'm actually going to go into briefly. The ones in black, you won't see a lot of detail over my presentation. The best way to think about a page versus a group is a page, think of it like a website. It's broadcasting, it's telling. A page is telling, it's one way. A group, when you set up a Facebook group, it's more interactive. The features allow more interaction. So one's a website, more like a website. Another way to look at it is a page is a digital storefront. You actually can sell things. Whereas a Facebook group is a meeting place for interaction. In terms of privacy, pages are public. Groups can be public or private, and they can be visible or even hidden. You can't even search for them if you're not a member of a private group. And I'll give you an example. My cousin created a private Facebook group for my dad's family, Frank. He had 8 brothers and sisters. So she created a private group for all of us cousins. And only we can see it. And over the years, we've been posting photographs from the farm in Pennsylvania, our relatives. And that means my brother's kids now can see that history that and we're continuing to feed that Facebook page. It's private. You couldn't even Google it or search for it on Facebook. It's that private. And you have to find it. Yes.
Do you think Facebook will ever just cancel all those things or make us pay for all those things?
Who knows? But
Yeah,
right
okay.
now, it's a free thing,
Right.
and we're loading gazillions of recipes and I mean,
Yeah.
just family stuff. So anyway, just a little story.
It's wonderful.
Thank you. So in terms of change, once you create a page, you can change the name. But my recommendation is before you create a new page or a group, come up with whatever name you want and see if it's already existing. There's multiple pages and groups out there with the identical name. So before you create a site, just like with a website, you want to go in there and see it, see how you can change it so that it's really unique when you do create it. You can change it in a page, and you can change the visibility, the layout, but once you create a page, you can't change it to a group. If you create a group, you can change it private to public, but it requires the approval of all the admins. And if any of the admins are dead and can't approve it, you're going to have a hard time changing it. What about pausing? You can pause a group. Say there's a group at Babcock Ranch for Northridge, my particular development. The person who manages that is an administrator. She put it on pause because she's going away for 3 months. She's a snowbird. That's an example of somebody pausing a group. It's visible, but nobody can interact, and there's not another admin assigned. A page, you can deactivate and unpublish it, and it's not visible, but you can't pause it. As I'm going through these features, for anyone who might be considering a page or a group, you might want to make again some notes because some of these are pretty powerful differences. Now, on a page, the event tab is hard to find. It's red, and I'll show you an example later. The event tab is visible on a group. And if posting individual events is important to you, a group might be better. What about documents? You can store documents in a group, PDFs in a group. You can't on a page. There's actually a file tab in a group, and you can load documents. I'll give you an example. Our garden club is a 60-plus-year-old garden club, and someone had been transporting from secretary to secretary 3-ring binders of minutes and treasury reports. 2 summers ago, someone scanned the last 10 years, turned them into PDFs, and we were able to load them into files on the group page. So now we got rid of those binders that were sitting in the garage and deteriorating. We also had in the old days scrapbooks. We don't do that anymore. We use Facebook, but they scanned the items in the scrapbook that were still not destroyed, and we loaded those in a file tab in the group. But a page has no way to store files. You can actually conduct polls in a group, but not on a page. Pages have call to action buttons, groups don't. Remember, pages are broadcast, it's like a website. Admin roles, there's a variety more of variation in admin roles with a page. And postings, no member can post in a page. The Cape Coral Computer Club Facebook site is a page, and members can't post, admins post. Members can make comments under a post, or they can send something to the admin to ask the admin to post. For example, if Tony sent me a link that said, Sandy, would you post this link on our Facebook page? He can't post it if he's not an admin, but I can post it for him. Groups, members can post. Analytics, pages by far have more analytics available. In membership, in terms of members, for a page, there is no members. It's open to the public. You don't have to join. You can see who your followers are. Anyone can follow. You can see your followers, but they're not members. On a group, there's a join button. And so people join that, and so groups have members. In terms of messaging, messenger inbox for public inquiries. There is no group inbox with a group. Advertising, pages can run ads, they can pay to boost posts. Groups, you can't. Scheduling posts. I love scheduling posts in advance. You can just put them in, spend 10 minutes, load them up, and then not worry about it for 1 month. But with a group, you can schedule 2 months out. It's a little more powerful. Pages keep track of the top contributors, if that's important. Featured posts. Pages allow 3 featured posts, and I'll show you what a featured post is in a minute, but groups are 50. I don't know who'd want to do that. Can other admins remove the creator? The creator is the first person who created that site. For example, in the Cape Coral Computer Club, Jackie is the creator, and she was the very first admin. I believe she's passed away. She is still an admin, and I'm still trying to delete her from the admin list. It's not harming anything, but in a group, other admins can't delete the person, but in a page they can. All right, we'll get into some meat and potatoes here. Here is the Cape Coral Computer Club. We have 48 followers, and we are following 11 other organizations. And this is what action buttons look like, and you can change them. There's a variety of them. And the way you change them is with these 3 little dots right here. That's how you control your action buttons. And so this is an example of the action button here. This is my garden club page. We have 1,300, we actually have 1,400 plus followers now, and I'm following 141 other Facebook sites. And these are our action buttons here, and you can change them. So I changed the Cape Coral Computer one here to say send email. So you have a lot of options: call now, message now, send an email, watch a video, open to a web page, and you can modify those. Again, with those 3 little dots. And so an example might be to check the 3 dots. Step 1, it takes you to the action button, change the button, select the button you want. So just to highlight, pages have a message button, an action button, they're public, and they're no join button. They don't have members, they have followers. Here's a
What about your own personal? That's just friends, and you have to approve somebody to be a friend.
Yes, that's a page. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
correct.
Okay.
That's correct. These are business pages and a group. Thank you. Good clarification. Thank you.
Okay.
So here's Southwest Florida happenings. This is 98,000.6 members. This is a public group. When I create a new flyer in our Cape Coral Computer Club, I can share it to this group, and then it will go to the inbox of 98,000 people.
Wow.
And I share our Facebook flyers to 22 organizations. So that's why I keep asking Regina, hey, Regina, did you get any new people, or did you get any new guests? So I want to know if that effort's even worth it. But so here is a public group. This is my Facebook page for my garden club, but this is a group. And you notice there's an invite button and a join button. So groups, they have members, see 98,000 members, but there's no action buttons, there's a join button. So here's the Cape Coral Computer Club, and I mentioned that in terms of events, the event button is a little hard to see on a Facebook page. The event button, I can't move it to the top of the page. You have to click on more and then click on events. And the events isn't running across the top on pages. And I don't know why they do that. But here is a group, this is District 9 group, and events are up on that top line, and so are the files where you can store documents. And you also easily can do a poll. When you put in a post, you could say, what's your preferred color, red, white, or blue? And then have a bar for red, a bar for white, and they can click that off. And you can click the button and you create a poll. And so here we have a group, District 9 is a group, and Cape Coral is a page. And in order to see events, you have to click on more, and here's your events. Here's your other things. But up in the private, on the Facebook group, the events and files are up along this tab, but not on the page. This is what the files looks like. My Garden Club has a public Facebook page. It does not have files, but I created a group, a Facebook group inside the Facebook page that's private. Very few people want to use it because we basically use it to hold documents. So we don't have to lug 3-ring binders in carts from officer to officer garage. And so this is a free way without a website to just store newsletters, yearbooks, minutes, etc. in a private group. Recipes, store recipes. So this is an example of a poll. And you just create it, and you just hit the poll button, and then you type in however many, you add a poll option, and then you can collect the results. And how do you create a scheduled future post, which I adore? So this is an example in a group, Facebook group. You put your event here, and then you just click on this calendar symbol, and you put in the date and time, and boom, that Facebook in a group, it's saved, and you can predate them, post date them 2 months out in a group. But in a page, they make it more cumbersome. You have to click on this is the Computer Club's page. You have to click on Meta Business Suite, Planner, then you click on create the post, and then you click on add the photo, add the text, and then you click on set up got like 8 clicks. But this is an example to do this. If I have a flyer and I want to put up the same flyer on the Cape Coral Computer Club once a week or every 2 weeks. So it's really nice to can those posts. I sit down at the computer, I do it, boom, 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 and I don't got to worry and do it every week. This is an example of top contributors that you can see in a group. You know, I don't really care about it that much, but I mean, I'm not going to do anything with it, but somebody might. This is what's called a member-to-member post. You've probably seen this in Facebook on your own page. Somebody posted this and said, does anybody have any piping tips I could borrow for a few weeks? This is Babcock Ranch. And Liz Reed says, which are you looking for? Now, Joyce responds, but she clicked on reply, which puts Liz's name in here. When Liz's name goes in here, I'm sorry. When Liz's name goes in here, it goes to her inbox. And so Joyce gets an alert in her inbox. When there is no member-to-member post, someone might respond, but their name's not there. So they won't see it in their inbox. They'd have to go back to here to keep checking. So groups have a member-to-member system of interactive communication. Remember I said pages are more like websites telling. Groups are designed for more interaction and communication between people. Don't be frightened. I'm not going to go through all these moderation tools, but pages, remember, pages have no members. They have followers. Followers can't post. Followers can do comments under the admin's post. And so in terms of all of these tools, can you hide comments, delete comments, keyword blocking, profanity filter? They have a lot of similarities. Where they differ is improving posts. Group admins can approve a post, but pages, members can't even post. That's why they can't approve it. In banning, page banning, or group blocking, this would only come up if somebody's being a pain. You know, you don't want people to post real estate announcements on your page. I have that occasionally in the Cape Coral Computer Club. I might get a random, someone asks me to post something, you know, or they'll put a request to post, and I'm not going to do that. Or in one of my other sites, someone might actually post something, and or in a comment, and I want to delete it because it's inappropriate. So in terms of features, the page ban or the group block, can they still see the site? Under a page ban, yes. Under a group block, no. That person blocked can't even see the site. Can they interact? With a page ban, they can't interact. In a group block, they can't interact. Can they rejoin? Only if they're unbanned by the admin, only if they're unblocked by the admin. And the purpose is to stop interactions totally. With a group block, they can't even view. In terms of analysis, hands down, Facebook pages have more in-depth analysis. I won't go through all of these, but it involves demographics, age, gender, time of day people are watching your site, how many people you reach, how long they watch every video you post, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But Facebook allows a lot more analytics. And this is an example from an old, probably 2 months ago when I first created this PowerPoint, my own club. You can see it's largely over 65, 83% plus United States, break down the cities and some countries. So if this is something you care about, you can look at these. Here's another Facebook page. My garden club in a 1 month period, April 18th to May, got 12,000 hits, views. And you can see how they went up and down, and you can analyze what was posted this day to give me a 1000K. Maybe I ought to post more of that. So you can drive yourself nuts with all this analysis. Here's a Facebook group. Their analysis is not as sophisticated. So here's this is cute. This is on this is the last 28 days, the average number of times a member posted. And so here it looks like Thursday was the highest. And here on Mondays, 6 a.m. was the 6 a.m. Mondays is the time, well, 2 people looked at it, but you get the idea. You can look at all this analysis stuff. What is a featured post? You're probably familiar with this if you use Facebook a lot. Here's Cape Coral Computer Club, and at the very top, here's where you post. But at the very top, they have what they call featured posts. This is where you have a post here and you push it into the featured, and it sits here till you take it out. So it could be really old, like this one's from April 13th. This one's from May 5th. So they're posts that I decided were important to put at the top. Here's the visitor form. So if somebody goes to our Facebook page, they can easily see the visitor form if they figure out what it is. And this little arrow here, when you click it, it gets you over to the next. This is the same page. It's just scooting you over to the next featured post. And so for featured posts, they're called pinned posts. So this is the featured section, but we pin what they call pin the post to the top, like with a thumbtack. And so you have a post, you click on the 3 dots on that post, you click pin the post, and it's like pinning it to a clipboard or a bulletin board at the top of the page. And then you can unpin it to take it out of this section at the top. Groups, you can pin over 50 individual posts. Seems overwhelming to me. Pages will only let you pin 3 posts. Caution, can other admins remove the creator? The creator is the person who created that Facebook page. For a Facebook page, is the original creator protected? No. That means other admins can remove the creator, but in a Facebook group, the original creator is protected and can only remove themselves. This is an example. In the Facebook page I manage, Judy created this Facebook page, I think it was 2016 or 17. She hasn't touched this Facebook page in 8 years. So I contacted her and I said, Judy, do you want to stay an admin? She says, no. And I said, well, I can't remove you. It's a Facebook group. And I had to give her instructions. I did a little video and she removed herself. Here's an example with the Cape Coral Computer Club. I believe Jackie Ross passed away. She created this Facebook site. So we're in the process of trying to, it doesn't hurt that she stays the creator, but we wanted to clean this up. And so I initiated a request and all the admins had to agree to it. And so this just shows you have 30 days from the initiation of a request to remove a creator to do that. It's just more minutia. Anyway, so in terms of the balance of pages or Facebook groups, are there any features that you heard that you think might be valuable?
Well, I found the information very valuable since I have a business page, and maybe I'll create a business group also.
Okay. Yeah, you can create a business group and store documents there and then let whoever you want have access to it. For any Facebook page or group, I always recommend minimally 2 admins or 3 admins, because if one becomes incapacitated and you only have 1 admin and they're incapacitated, you have to contact Facebook and it is so hard to get a new admin assigned. Yes, Nora.
So I'm years ago, the first experience I had, my son created a family.com and I loved it because it was just the family. It was, we were really in touch with each other and stuff like that. And my son passed away and it was very hard to get into that and, become whatever. But I think doing a family group will be easier for me sometimes in my post in Facebook.
Well, if you decide you want to store documents that are if documents are the key thing you're concerned about, like you want to store recipes or you want to store family, whatever, then go with the group because it has a file function and it's also interactive, member to member conversations. And so, but always try to have 3 admins in the family who are alive and don't have dementia. So you got backup. I know that's a tall order. But my brother had like 4 or 5 boxes of photos. So he started scanning, I started scanning. It took us quite a few years to load everything. And
that's what I did with the family.com, We scanned pictures, we sent, we had uncles that put in the.
And you could create albums in Facebook. So you could have, the Frank album and the John album and the original 8 brothers and sisters and, sort them. Or you could just post them helter-skelter on the Facebook. You don't got to be so rigorous.
I just worry that they would disappear.
I don't know that my brother threw out his pictures. There certainly are long-term, we've talked about it in this group, how to store photos. There's a million different ways, clouds, you can do that. But for my garden club, that isn't we are so broke. We are a nonprofit broke. We're not going to have a SharePoint. We're not gonna, this is, and if we lose it, you know, it ain't the ICU, nobody died. Now your family
Right.
photos are more important,
Yeah.
you know, so, but, you know, it's, I don't know that it's going away, but I can't promise you it's not, you know, no one can.
Mm.
Any other questions, thoughts, comments?
No, thank you. It's been very
Thank
good.
you, Sally.
Thank you.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Mm.
Thanks, Sandy.